Hi everybody, Shannon and Karen with Wandering Out Yonder. Well, today Shannon and I want to share with you some things that we used or utilized while we were out west on our 38-day road trip. Things that we felt we would not want to be without on any road trip or even day trip.
Right, these are things that we used every single day and probably said every single day, I'm so glad we have.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to start off with the first thing, which is an electric tea kettle. Now, if you've watched any of our previous videos, we had at one point one of those single brew Keurig coffee machines. Worked fantastic until it didn't. I made the mistake of leaving it in here during bad weather, cold weather. Ruined it. So we decided, instead of going back to that, to look at using an electric tea kettle. And we found it to be extremely handy, and especially on this particular trip because there were so many days that we had rain
and wind
and very windy. So this turned out fantastic that we were able to use this tea kettle in the van. We could make our coffee, our tea. We had an occasional backpack meal that we could put together just by boiling up some hot water. So it became very, very handy for us, and I wouldn't want to do without it.
Right. The second thing that we found irreplaceable on the trip was, oddly enough, most of these things are things that Karen had the idea to come up with at first, and I fought. And then once they came into the van, they're now irreplaceable. So the second thing is our refrigerator, our BougeRV, powered by our Growatt. Absolutely love them. The pros to having the fridge: the ice, the mess, the water was a disaster. You can also get a lot more in the fridge because you're not working around all of the ice.
Well, and the other thing too is when you're trying to put your meal together and you're having to dig through that ice to try to find your food, it's kind of a pain in the butt.
Right,
so, yeah.
Right. And the difference with the fridge as opposed to the coolers that we used on our first trip is the fridge stayed put, same spot the entire trip, minus the few days that we were in the Grand Canyon. We wound up actually taking it into the room that we were staying in. But it same spot, stayed there all the time.
Yep.
The Growatt worked like a pro. It charged
while we were traveling.
Right, it ran the fridge for us while we would travel during the day. And some days, our longest day was 10 hours or something. And it would charge while we were driving rather than hooking into the van. And then we had one night in the Guadalupe Mountains we didn't have power, and it ran it all night long and the day before and the day after.
Right, so it really did a great job for us.
Right.
Yeah, those two things I think I definitely would not want to do without.
Right.
The next thing is, of course, our Coleman cots. Now, you guys have probably seen us talk about these in previous videos, but we really do love these cots. They're comfortable. They're permanent. Well, they're not permanently in here. We could move them around if we needed to, but
they are attached.
They are attached. Right. We do have them attached right now, and there's no need to tear down, or set up a sleeping arrangement because it's always there, always ready to go,
which was very helpful.
Right.
The one night we got into the place that we were staying very late because of an accident, and we literally crawled out of the cab into the back and passed out because we got in late, we were tired, there was no need to set up anything, they were ready to go.
Yep. All right, so the next, and well, one of the most important things for me, because I have really bad knees, are the steps that we use to get in and out of the van.
Right. We only use the back.
We don't use our side.
Right, to enter from outside into the van. We don't use our side door. So we were stepping up on the bumper. At first we were using a much smaller stool, which worked, but
I mean, it was so small.
Right. You kind of had to balance yourself coming in and out. If you were carrying something, it was a little bit of a disaster.
A little sketchy.
And Karen has hurt her knee. I last year had an ankle injury, and it's just a big step to do with one step.
Yes.
So the two-step system that we have has been a great addition for the in and out of the van, and we used it The one day I used it when we gassed up to get the bugs off of the front of the windshield, because you can't reach them. I can't reach them.
Can't reach the windshield yet.
Right. We used them at the car wash to get some of the nasty off of the top of the van. They are, they to me have been probably one of my favorite additions to the van. And occasionally I use it for a table to cook on when I'm just being too lazy and I don't want to do anything else.
Works out fine.
Right.
Now the last but not least,
Wait, this is kind of crappy.
that is probably one of the truly most useful things that we have purchased for the van, and it is a luggable loo and a Wolf-Wise privacy tent.
Right.
Now, when Shannon had mentioned earlier, we got stuck in traffic in, I think it was Arizona.
Yeah.
For 3 hours, we just sat on the highway, right? And I said to Shannon, okay, so we're going to sit here for 3 hours. If anything should, you need to go to the bathroom, you need to lay down, we're fine. We are self-contained. We have a place to go to the bathroom. We have a place to lay down if we need to. We could have sat and watched Netflix. But the potty was really an issue for us. Okay?
Right.
We're old lady bladders.
Right.
Okay.
So, and sometimes, when the option is there, we just use the campground facility, or, we rest stops and at gas stations, we do all that. But occasionally we get somewhere and the bathroom is really, really, really in bad shape, and or it's really, really, really far away.
Yes.
So then we can pop up our privacy tent, use our luggable loo, and we've got our own accommodations right on site. We got the luggable loo. Put this cover around it. I don't even remember what this cover was originally for. I think it was one part of our seat covers. And that helps cover up. We've got a milk crate that helps keep it steady so it doesn't tip. And then pull it up, and there you go.
It's not just that. We were in Saguaro, and I was half a mile down the trail and decided I had to go to the bathroom, because there are times in your life when Mother Nature calls. You have to answer and you don't have a choice. I hiked back a half a mile, was able to get inside the van and deal with my issue without any problems at all. So we love our luggable loo. We do love our Wolf-Wise privacy tent as well. We use those in combination sometimes. But the potty is a definite, has to go with us everywhere we go now. So
right, it is irreplaceable.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and a really, really simple fix to an issue that everybody has to deal with. Right. So anyway, that is our top 5. There's a ton of things that we use in the van that we love, but those are the ones that I think that
we would make sure that we had those on every single trip, and no matter how long the trip.
Right. We don't leave home without them.
Yeah.
So, all right. Hope that was helpful for everybody.
All right. See you later. Bye.